You're muted.
Oh my goodness, here we go. That's okay. It's the first time for everything. But I appreciate you keeping me in the loop, or I would have been in trouble. I think the first time we
Well,
would
I couldn't see your screen, and so I was like, surely the music's finished by now. And I just swung back to look at the dashboard, and you were going like this. And I'm like, okay,
have.
it's
No,
your
cool.
turn. That happened to me last week,
That's
right?
true.
So
That's true. But I'm glad we can hear each other, and I think right now we're live. I do believe that. Let me just give it one last listen. Can hear each other, and yes, we're good to go. All right, cool.
awesome.
So, welcome everybody. This is Boomer and Degen. I'm your host, Biz, coming at you live with Andy, co founder of Crypto Hub HQ, a new alerts using real time data. Definitely excellent stuff. And Andy, I know you gave us a little bit of a walkthrough in the first or in our last episode, and
Yeah.
you gave us a pretty juicy tip. In real time, was able to call a short that managed to do quite well, and had you went in multiple x leverage, would have been multiple x times that move. Which I don't know if you want to get into it, but man, there's a lot to go over because Bitcoin did a nasty pullback yesterday as well, and maybe you
Well,
want to
let's
go through.
let's do BTC first, right? Because all the other streams were calling bloodbath. Everything's tanking and stuff. But actually, if you can see my BTC chart is, and I mentioned on the stream last time, we cannot go beneath this white line, right? We peaked beneath it here because that's what's called a break of structure. And so basically you've already formed a lower high. We don't want to form a lower low.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we did. And that was my first warning sign. That was on the 9th of January. And I did say this yesterday on the stream because we'd had the weekend in the way. And then I said, look, it was like a couple of days of just messing about. And then if everybody who's been watching the stream for a while will know that I've had these boxes, looks very likely, could be, and what the fuck, for a very long time. And if you look at looking very likely, there's a yellow dashed line going through it if you can pick it up on the stream. Now, that is a point of control. That is a day, some point back, where that was the price everybody agreed was the fair price for that day, right? That was the kind of point at which everybody agreed was a price. And I said, if it goes beneath this white line, we're going down to looking very likely. We did exactly that. If I go down to a lower time frame, you can see that we went right into, let me just drag that up a little bit. We went right into this and we had a wick hit the point of control right in the middle of looks very likely. And so we went and did what we thought we were going to do. So the question is, now what? So what really needs to happen is that, I'm going to draw a couple of lines here. We really need to get a higher low and then a higher high, like this kind of pattern, to start proving that we are breaking out of this structure, which is currently, if I delete that, we're currently in this kind of downtrend here like this.
Yeah.
And what we really need to do is we need to break out of that by breaking back above the top white line and forming a higher high beneath that. So ideally like that. So that what happens is you get a higher high, a new higher low, and then you go upwards. So are we out of the woods? Not quite yet. I know a lot of people were saying, well, bloodbath, and this is now the retracement that we were all waiting for. And they could be right. But at the moment, there's no kind of volume telling me otherwise. We'll have to wait and see what happens when the market's open today. But it was the American market that took it down last night, and they've been doing that quite a few times, right? And manipulating it down when it was in a range, and then maybe shooting it up later. So
yeah,
so that's Bitcoin. And if you look on the 15-minute chart that I've got on here, which I have many points of control. Each day ends up with a point of control, right? The price every day that they agree on. And as you can see right now, a previous day is acting as resistance and now support here. And it's just tending to break down below this. So We don't know quite yet. There was a lot of volume taking us down, but not a lot of volume bringing us back up. So
Interesting.
yeah, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with Bitcoin. But as traders, and I say this within our Discord, do we care? Because as a trader, the price of Bitcoin is irrelevant. It's more the structure of Bitcoin. What is it doing? Is it in a downtrend like this, or is it starting to break structure and go into an uptrend? Because that might tell us, based on the number of coins that are following Bitcoin, whether we should be trading certain coins or not. And that's where some of these alerts that we bring in. And before I show you the latest alerts, which is what we want to focus on, I'll show you the FIRO one that I did live on the stream.
Nice.
Yeah. So if I just drag this up a little bit so that I can make it a little bit bigger for everybody.
Dang. But you see how quick those moves go.
Right. So this, you could have traded this coin, only this coin, all of yesterday, had you wanted to. You literally, because it came into one of our alerts of, I can't remember which one, I can go find it, but I found it because it came into one of our alerts. The green is where on the stream I was saying you could get in here for a short, and I've turned all these off, but if I think I went down to something like the 5 minute, or it might have been the 3 minute, and I found a fair value gap. Yeah, just the top of there, and then I found the other entry on the. It was either the top, sort of just underneath the top of this order block here, and I said you could short this now, and that then went and did 4 point. At top of this fair value gap here was 4.61%. You could have actually.
I don't even think you targeted that far down, right? I mean, even conservatively, you were targeting like 2%, and then you're like 2%, 40%. That's 80%. I'm out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So I mean, obviously we were on the stream, so I didn't take the trade, but the alert go off to say, I set an alert saying, let me know when it goes back above where my price entry would be, because I'm waiting for it to come back down. It did exactly what I wanted it to do when you go down to the small time frames, like 3 minutes, and the entry was there. So that was and you could literally like down up all day, and that's why I mean by, depending on what Bitcoin's doing, if you can find coins that, if Bitcoin's in a range, you can find coins that don't fall as much when Bitcoin falls, but rise a lot more when Bitcoin rises, which is one of our alerts. You can just sit and trade that all day, and you'll see that I've got those set up. If I go to the ones that have come in today that are rising more and falling less, are all these here today. You can see that most of them are in a reasonable profit. When you go back to others, the overall market is only 0.32% in profit. That's all the alts minus the top 10. But if you go back to here, the ones that the alerts have been calling, other than LPT, which is probably having a pullback right now, yeah, it's following BTC more. The rest are in more profit, right? So they're rising more and then pulling back less. And the one that I just looked at before this stream, was I actually set an alert, but then I was preparing for the stream, was Move. Now, Move, you could have literally had a short from this fair value gap here with a very small stop of like 0.27%. So you could have done 40x easily. And then you would have had 3.5%. So that's 35 times 4%, so 140% profit. So these alerts are really, really good for that. So let's have a quick, shall we go back and have a look at some of the new ones that have come in?
Yeah.
Let's start with rising when BTC falls, because BTC is currently, if I go to the hour chart here, it's
Andy, I just got to do a full disclaimer. I do have to leave in 5 minutes because of the lunar, the lunar month. So there's a ceremony today. So
okay, we're going to keep short and sweet, because he can't leave me on the screen because I can't close it down because he's the host, right? So CGPT, which is actually, I'm pretty damn certain, already in one of my CGPT USDT. If I go to here, yep, it's already in here. Oh, well, there you go.
Wow, what is that? That's crazy.
There you go. So that was just called
the green one.
yeah, right. So that's taken off, right? That's up like 20% on the day so far. But what will happen is now it's caused a massive imbalance. It will come back down, right? So you want to get an entry. This is where you can find your entries. Other alerts, just so people can freeze the video. Rising fast, STMX, TNSR, Tensor. Falling fast, rising less, C98, STPT. Retraced, in other words, those that are like, you're going to get them cheaper now. And then finally, those that maybe are approaching a shorting zone. So they've had a fall, now they're going back up, and maybe they're going to have the natural retracement. Those are those alerts. I forgot we were having a short one, so I've dawdled on a little bit, Biz. I've gone on a little bit. But tomorrow we'll be back with a full length stream and we can get more into it.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, like it's really interesting to see. And I was gonna call that move in Bitcoin was that a liquidity sweep, but then like you mentioned about the volume not coming in, so it does seem a little bit suspect at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit weak. It's a bit weak. So we'll have to wait for the day to unfold, right? There's lots of hours left in this day, so we kind of have to wait for that.
Yeah. But in other news, I mean, what I've been doing anyways for my day today, I mean, obviously the market was kind of just like, I wouldn't say it was a write-off. I mean, because you could trade either way, up or down. But I was really ripping into the AI agents because I mean, first of all, the craze is, and I'm not too sure if the craze is because the tokens itself, people invest in these tokens, and that's like the hot new narrative. But the actual application of it, I think, is like the most bullish thing I've ever came across. Only because when you actually dive right into it, there is so much you can do. Like unreal.
Do you know what I think what the narrative is, Biz, is at the moment they're a fantastic aid to workflow.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, obviously, there's some people that are just going to automate everything. Going on Twitter, it'll just be an AI bot doing everything, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of workflow, saving you time preparing, I don't know, posts for Medium or whatever it is, and you can have these bots really, really aid in your workflow in terms of preparing stuff and finding data and presenting data in the right way. Yeah. They're only going to get better and better. And actually, there's going to come a point where nobody knows whether they're interacting with a real human or an AI. Mm-hmm. And that's when you start getting into is the data true? Is the data good? So then there's going to have to be bots that fact check.
Yeah. Well, you can run multiple characters to collaborate with one another.
Right.
Off of the same framework. It's nuts. It's nuts. Like so this would be one guy, one agent, one character. You can call this guy one character, and you have another character. And let's say the overall goal was to you set the objective, and they would actually collaborate with one another to achieve that goal. It's nuts. It's so nuts. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it done. I mean, it's just based off of like understanding that you can run multiple characters to collaborate with one another. But I'd be interested to see anyone pull it off. But I just see a lot of potential there.
It will come, and it's something that we can integrate, I think, as we move forward, because we have a huge data set.
Yeah.
Is that we start using AIs to interact with these alerts and tell us the kind of trades that we could take with them, right? Or how successful that alert would have been over the last 4 days. Because some of these alerts, they don't always rise well and fall less. They swap. Sometimes they come into that and then they come into another one. So that there's lots of stuff we can utilize AI to help us better understand the service that we deliver. So but anyway, you've got to go.
Yeah, so, I do have to go. Did we touch on the market health though before we leave, or
not really? Just market health. It's short-term moving up because they had a massive pullback yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the time frames still down. I've just been preparing the new website, which is when it goes live, we'll just have a Discord link for now. But it's a whole Web3 website where you can buy NFT as membership, but that's switched off because at the moment everything's free. As long as you follow Crypto Hub HQ and come in and show us that you've done that, you'll get the member role, which shows all the alerts that we've got.
And where's the link to the Discord?
Oh, I've not put it live yet.
Okay.
Only because we're still on my local server as opposed
Gotcha.
to on the live server. So when I sleep, the alerts don't come in, right? So
Sweet. All right, cool. Well, guys, look, there's a lot that we're definitely cooking. We're building up. All of it, it's good to see things start to come into fruition. Like Andy mentioned, this will be a free service for the in the short term or immediate term. And so whenever that Discord link does get announced, make sure to get into the server, drop your just a screenshot of you following Crypto Hub HQ, and you'll get access to all these alerts. And so, yeah, you can utilize it for yourself. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Yeah, we are cutting it tight, so I have to go. Sorry, guys. We're going to cut it a little bit short, but we'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same channel. And until then, take care, everybody. See you
happy
later.
trading. See you tomorrow.
Bye.